The first step is just in terms of getting young people and their parents, obviously crucial to have them involved, but getting them used to the idea that, hey, if you think that college is in your future, there are going to be requirements that you're going to have to meet before you do anything else, just in terms of your academics.
That's really a big piece of this. A lot of times parents don't know what their child is doing academically. They may see a report card, they may not. And so we're really looking at working at the middle school level, but particularly the high school level, to begin to inform parents that, as you said, if your son or daughter is strongly considering college or some type of post-secondary option, that we want to make sure you're taking the proper courses, the most challenging courses at your school. They may be difficult, but you need to take those. And so we kind of work with parents very early on in the process and begin to walk them through.
Tamira, you've already indicated you're looking at the University of Scranton. Talk a little bit about what type of process you looked at. How many schools did you look at, and what were some of the factors involved in your decision?
I actually applied to 7 schools, and Scranton was one of the only schools that accepted me. And I felt like it was a reason for that, so I'm just waiting to see how everything goes. And
what year are you at Drexel Newman? You're getting ready to graduate?
Yes, I'm in the 12th grade.
All right, so you'll be going into college in the fall?
Yes.
Okay. Rickwan, you're going to stay a little closer. You're going to go out to Westchester. Yes. And you're interested in pre-med. What was your what was the draw in terms of wanting to stay a little closer to home?
Well, my mom, of course, but I want to be able to get back home if I need to, and go to school. It's not too close to where I can't go back to school or come back home, and then it's far enough where I can stay away from home a little bit. But that's probably one of my primary reasons.
Jamie, you're going to probably go the farthest. You're going to go down to Allen Iverson territory. You're going to go down to Hampton University, and you're going to study sociology and communications. What type of other schools did you look at, and what were the factors in your decision?
I looked at Westchester, Howard, and Elmira College in New York, and the factors were just coming to the College Access Center and people helping me trying to figure out what I like to do, because I was very indecisive of what I wanted to be, because I wanted to be a lawyer, but now I want to be a public relations director. So I just, looked up a lot of things and found out my passion of what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Jelani, this is a program, the College Access Center, that basically covers the entire county?
We do. We have students that come as far from Widener and Lower Marion, Marion Mercy Academy. We have all of the public schools, Interborough, Chichester, Garnet Valley, Pencrest, Strathaven, Academy Park, Penwood. Right. So we get everybody in the county. When students find out that we offer a free SAT and ACT prep class by Kaplan-trained facilitators, trust me, mom is putting the son or daughter on a bus, train, or something. They're getting them there. Because all of our services at the College Access Center are free. Tutoring, which is always something that students need. Or just a place like, Ricky and Tamira and Jamie, they started coming to the center just to get their homework done. They would start coming after school and looking for a little bit of help. And then as they continued to see what was going on at the center, they began to engage in the programs. And as you can see, they've become some of our top leaders and great success stories.
One of the things that we mentioned at the beginning of the show is the massive amount of brain power that was behind this consortium and putting together the College Access Center. And I was just wondering, Jelani, now as it to sort of turn around, is there any tie-in with the schools that are involved in terms of looking at a student who's coming through the College Access Center?
Yes, we've been able to create some remarkable connections, so that as these young people are applying to post-secondary institutions, when the admissions and enrollment officers see that they're coming through our program, as the cliche, membership has its privileges.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
Now they know that these are students that have been really worked with, massaged, and if they're getting a recommendation, from the College Access Center, what schools are looking for are strong students that they believe can be successful, which of course adds to their retention rate, things like that.
One of the things that we talked an awful lot about is this idea of cost of college. Obviously, one of the biggest obstacles a lot of young people face in their families. And we're seeing a little bit of a different shift in it, in that not only is everyone looking at the front end, at the cost of it, but one of the things that we're seeing throughout society is a huge problem with the back end, is that kids or young people are leaving college but are facing staggering debt burdens as they leave, and it's making it very, very difficult for them to go out and set up on their own. Is there any kind of attention to that as well?
You know, we've talked about it, and that's where the consortium of institutions and their expertise, particularly in the financial aid office, in terms of putting together packages, and what really can impact that, because you're 1,000% correct, this massive amount of debt that students are acquiring after 4 or 5 years in achieving their degree. And so a big part of that is making sure they make a good decision on the front end.
Right.
You know, finding a school that matches, really taking advantage of the breaks that happen within the state of Pennsylvania.
Right.
Even there are students like Jamie that may want to go out of state, so we try to load up on scholarships. But a lot of students, preparation academically, so they're not taking courses that are just going to extend their stay, which
Right.
could be more loans.
Yeah.
And then really working with parents. We do a significant amount of work with parents on that front end to talk about saving, you know, during Christmas and birthdays, you know, maybe cutting back a little bit on those proms and all
Yeah.
those things, because iPhones and Air Jordans add up. You know?
They certainly do. I was very interested in another aspect of the College Access Center, and it's a program called the Male Achievers Program. It's a program that they are targeting young men in Chester and other areas of the county deemed to be at risk, and supporting them in their individual academic and personal development, and with the goal, again, which may be putting them on a path to the possibility of going to college and a career. Talk a little bit about the Male Achievers Program.
Well, absolutely. No, the Male Achievers, man, really spoke to my heart when I decided to come back to the center, because I just looked at a college campus and saw that while all groups were represented, you know, the young African American in particular, or Latino male, unless they were athletes, were just not represented in the numbers that we felt they should be. And so, in speaking with the advisors, I wanted to put together a male mentoring program, get these young men into the center, begin to work with them about their careers, get them excited, and let them know that this is really possible, that they don't have to be, you know, entertainers or athletes. And so what we're going to be doing over the course of the next few years with them is introducing them to some of the exciting careers, like even in the area of communications, or we'll be traveling down to Delaware County Community College next week for a huge STEM conference that they're going to be hosting.
Right. Yeah.
We got a grant that we're going to be working on
I
with
have
the
that.
Chester STEM High School. So
Right, yeah.
we're really excited about that, introducing them to things that we know are going to be enriching for them, but to let them know that college is a high expectation for them. If you're going to raise families,
Right.
and if you're going to strengthen communities, you've got to have men that are educated.
Is that really and truly the starting point in terms of a lot of the urban areas, maybe Chester and some other areas, in terms of focusing kids on what is really available and what's out there for them?
Yeah, so I think you're right. You know, in the changing dynamics of employment, there was a time when you had the manufacturing giants right here in Delaware County and
Yeah.
in Chester.
Yeah.
You know, those days are long gone, and so when you start thinking about what is available, and a lot of times students, particularly young men, have an interest, say like in sports, but they don't realize that communications is a part of the science kind of
Sure.
you know, area that they
Yeah.
can get involved in. Being a trainer, you know, you don't always have to be the next LeBron or Kevin Durant or even the singer or the rapper. You know, the production element of it. And in science now, sports and science is such a large part. So giving them a starting point and then opening up their imagination really is a key to getting them to the center.
And one of the things that I talk about when I'm out speaking at groups, and I speak at some of the big education banquets in the county, is that we're probably somewhat at fault as much as anyone in this, in that we spend an awful lot of time in my business focusing on kids who are involved in athletics and sports and other people who appear in the back end of the paper in the sports section. But we don't necessarily always give that kind of attention to kids who are involved in educational efforts. How important is that to sort of try to level that playing field?
We're going to have to go even above and beyond, and I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of we're going to have to put the same amount of attention and, like I like to say, celebrate the academic successes of students, particularly young boys at a significantly earlier age. You know, I remember being covered by you years ago during my days at Penncrest, you know, and, you know, got a lot of attention for my sports, you know, accolades. And certainly say a city like Chester, which everybody knows is the preeminent high school basketball
Sure.
power.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you're successful playing sports, there's, you know, this culture is a real sports-friendly culture. So what we're doing is we're working with the Chester Upland School District, but also Rose Tree Media and the Pendelco School District, and looking at their young men and you know, when they make the honor roll, when they have the dean's list, that these young men get the same type of accolades and some of the privileges that go with success, so that they begin to realize that, yes, if you're an A student, if you hit the dean's list, that you're going to get some of those privileges. And I think we can begin to turn that around.